Heroes of Loot is not a new game in concept or actual age, but its creative take on the classic overhead dungeon crawler fills a nice gap in the VCS library for anyone looking for a modern take on Gauntlet. Its pixel graphics will be familiar to anyone who's played other Orangepixel games, and its deep itemization and push further gameplay is something Orangepixel's done well in its other VCS games. Heroes of Loot features excellent and fun local co-op and shouldn't be missed for anyone with a second player at home. Gauntlet was known for being punishing. Ultimately, its progression was a reflection of how many quarters you put in the arcade. In Heroes of Loot, the monsters get more difficult the further you progress, and progression and dungeon difficulty persists between games, although you can always adjust it if you want to before playing. You have 5 classes to pick from, 4 at the start and eventually a 5th, each with its own power level when it comes to attack damage, magic, what I think is duration but could instead be strength, and experience gain. Some of the game's mechanics, from the way its AI improves to what some items actually do, remain a mystery, and as you progress you'll encounter spikes, switches, and other dungeon puzzles. As you go through each game, your character will level up, become more powerful, and your attacks will scale up and do more. The overall gameplay is very much like the dungeon crawls you've maybe played with Gauntlet, Dark Chambers, and beyond. You'll find yourself creating kill zones to lure in large crowds of mobs, since trying to enter the room and fight leads to a quick death. You can, however, get temporary effects to clear a room quickly, and you do need to pick up your money before it disappears. You'll spend cash on items in shops during that run, 1 item per shop on offer. It could be anything from a simple health booster to a secret item that interacts with the dungeon in a different way. Keep an eye out for secret rooms full of treasure as you go through the levels. I found when death came it hit quick, often before I had a chance to react. There are also special items to collect for each class, and they'll persist after you collect them and be noted in Class Select between games. Throughout the dungeon, you'll encounter quest rooms which require you to defeat a certain number and kind of enemy within a certain time frame in exchange for some kind of item reward. Each dungeon's procedurally generated in layout and threat. There's an inventory screen, but no way to learn more about the items in it. You'll earn points throughout, and at the end there is a high score, even though there are no leaderboards. Heroes of Loot only supports the modern controller due to the need for twin-stick controls. One moves while the other controls shots and direction. You can technically play with the classic, but it doesn't work very well. The game does have basic sound control and dungeon difficulty options, but nothing related to controls. Orangepixel could become the most prolific developer publishing to the VCS outside of Atari, with up to 10 games planned for release. We've already seen Meganoid and Space Grunts, and it seems likely future games from Orangepixel will be released too. Heroes of Loot was originally released in 2013, old enough to have a version on the PlayStation Vita, another great gaming device that perhaps got overlooked by more mainstream gamers. That said, the game fills a great spot in the VCS lineup, and at a price of $9, the game could be a great pick for a rainy weekend or a game night with a friend. Thanks for watching. I'll have more videos in the coming weeks, including a look at the exciting Atari 50th Anniversary Collection and more. Liking helps get these videos out in front of others and lets me know you appreciate it, and subscribing gets these videos in your feed. Have fun!